Hey everyone, this is David, also known as Staples from the 60-inch ASA USA Softball, Illinois. We are going live with the Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie show, and we want all of you to join us. A huge thank you to our amazing sponsors, Beacon Tap, Surfside, Cut Shot, Signature, Transportation. Don't miss this, going to be an incredible show. Let's go.
And welcome to the Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie show, sponsored by the Beacon Tap, Signature Transportation Group, our boys from Surfside, and our boy from Iowa, Mr. Cutshot himself, Michael Hendricks. So, Cousin Donnie, how you doing today, buddy?
What's up, man? I'm doing well. I'm excited for tonight. We've got some great guests from multiple levels of 16-inch softball that are coming on tonight. People that we haven't had on the show before, which is great. And a lot of, different opinions. Hopefully you stayed safe today with the bad air quality that was going on out there. A lot of leagues got canceled. Kennedy Park got canceled, which helped us move the show up a little bit for everybody that wanted to watch it a little bit earlier. Yeah. But let's go, man. How are you feeling?
Well, good. I had a good day at work. Got a call.
Yeah.
That the dome blew down today. So the dome deflated.
Yeah, what the hell?
That was a little nerve-wracking, but no damage. We're good. We had a little malfunction, but up and running and back to normal as usual. So
it sounds like some more people need to play those slots, so that way you could pay the electricity to keep the dome up.
Yeah, no, it was a unit malfunction with our backup. Something happened where it kind of tripped the summer fan and tripped the standby fan, and I don't know. Got a call this morning at 9:15 in the morning saying, "Hey, dude, your dome is deflated." So I called
punching the gas on his car trying to get there.
I called my cousin Jason, and he lives about 6 minutes away, and he said he drove 120 miles an hour down.
That's funny.
So,
before we get into our guests, we've had some softball this week, and Jimmy, you're never gonna believe this.
What?
But you pissed some people off yesterday.
No way. What did I do?
I heard, now this is a rumor, right? I heard that you stole a base in 16-inch softball last night.
Well,
yeah.
I am the all-time leader in base stealing. History.
Okay, so the rumors potentially could be true.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have 8 or 9 in my career.
Unbelievable.
And you know what the funny part is usually I'm stealing bases with my boy Nate Mercado, and usually Nate's in the box. And last night Nate was in the box.
Yeah.
And we did it again. So
unbelievable. And it upset a few people. But
I guess it did. But I guess they didn't know the history behind it. So
sure.
We've been doing it for a long time.
In store for tonight, we've got the MVPs from Papa Hops that will be on the show with us. Eric Stretch Panic and Jimmy Tops, 2 great softball players, guys that played unbelievable. Oh, there's an Auntie Jenny sighting on the show for the first time.
Yes, she is. She's trying to print things. So
doesn't she know we're running a professional show here?
Oh, he's always doing something. So whether it's this or that, so
Hey, what a life you've got, my friend.
Yeah, she's great.
But we're excited for the guests. We've got the B Nationals guys coming on. A couple guys from the B Nationals. Got ya, we're the champions. We've got a lot to talk about tonight.
So really quick, Donnie, how did you do at Papa Hops before we bring on the guest?
Yes, Laced tried really, really hard. We didn't score enough runs to win the game. We got knocked out in our first game against Gamblers on the main diamond, which was awesome. We played at 4:00 and there were still a bunch of people out there watching. So we unfortunately got bounced. It was a close game for 6 innings. And I think we ended up losing like 7-3 or 8-3.
Okay. Well, that's not a bad performance for Laced.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. So, well,
How did you?
OBI, I got there in the 6th inning of the 2nd game. We won the 1st game. I
Okay.
believe we beat Roadhouse.
Okay.
I believe they said it was a tight game. I think they won 5-2, if I'm correct, 7-2, something like that. And then we played Pac-Man.
Good team.
And Pac-Man, I think, jumped up early on them, early in the game on us, and then it was like 3-0, then it was like 6-0, and then it kind of went from, and I think we ended up losing 7-2. So we just didn't hit, you know. And we had a nice team. I mean, when I got there, I was kind of, it's like, oh wow, we actually have a really nice team, but we just couldn't put hits together in a Pac-Man game, is what I was told. So
yeah, I hear you.
It happens.
Well, yeah, it's been a really cool couple weeks of softball. We're getting down to No Glove Nationals next weekend. We'll have a totally separate show with a very desirable No Glove Nationals guest on Monday night next week.
Yes. JD will be joining us, and he's got I have a lot of questions for him.
Yeah, it's going to be a well-watched show.
Yes, very watched. Yes, it'll be very good. But tonight, let's get to our guest tonight. Why don't you go ahead and bring them on, Donnie?
Cool.
So we have Jimmy Tops and our boy Stretch, Mr. Brother himself. Look at him. Look how handsome he looks, Donnie. He makes that side of the screen look a lot better now.
Mustache is looking good.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Jimmy, the Jimmies are on this side. We always look good. So, but guys, congratulations, obviously, on winning the Papa Hops. Congratulations on being the MVPs. Welcome to the Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie show. Start off, Jimmy, with you, then we'll go to Stretch. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started in softball. Let people know. I know both of you guys have both played major softball in your day, but let's talk a little bit about when you got started and how you got into the game.
Yeah, probably right out of college. I don't know, 22, 23. I started playing at Normandy Park with Armageddon and with Sean Garrett. And then Nick Pacelli was in that league, and he was like, hey, you want to come play for the Rats? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I spent about 2 years with Rats. And then I believe they folded, if I'm not mistaken. And then I did 2 years with Flash and then 2 years with Brick. All great teams, all great guys. Yeah. Pretty much how I got started, but it was fun. And then, you start having kids, you get married, you move away, you move a little bit farther, and Forest Park is kind of not in the picture anymore. Mm-hmm. And you start playing park leagues and with your buddies, and that's ultimately like what
now you play more.
Yeah. Well, it's 3 days a week. But ultimately, that's what I enjoy, playing with my friends more than anything. Not to say that some of those major teams weren't,
fun.
Yeah, but you enjoy playing with your friends, the kids you grew up with in high school, and and Mint's awesome. We got a lot of great guys, So yeah,
it's great. Yeah, it was probably really easy to buy into just playing with Mint full time, knowing how good that team is and how much you guys would have a shot at winning Papa Hops. Was this the furthest you've made it in the tournament, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I started with like West Lawn, when it first started. Played a couple years with them, and then
once you became not major, you went over the Mint.
Yeah, I stopped playing softball once like COVID happened.
Yeah.
I saw Donnie McAvoy at the gym. He had a little mask on. And he was like, hey, you want to come play for Mint? And I was like, yeah, because I moved out to Mount Greenwood. And that's, that's pretty much my journey for softball. It's not very interesting.
That's good. Oh, it's fun.
But those Rats years were so much fun because that was my first time ever playing like competitive major softball. And I mean, Jim, you were on that team. We had Kevin Sweeney, Scotty Toothpick,
Oh yeah,
Clem, Artie, Lance,
Kornikowski.
Chippy.
He used to show up, Chippy.
Yeah. We had a good team. I mean, we had decent runs in Forest Park too.
Yeah.
I don't know why we ever folded. I think guys just, people had other
Kenny Casalico was another one.
Yeah, Kenny. Just other opportunities. They wanted to go and play, and I think we had Richie's dad pitching for us once. I don't know if you remember. And he actually did fine. And then Flash, I think Shane reached out and was like, "Hey, you want to play with Flash?" And Shane's awesome, so I was like, "Yeah." And those teams were awesome. Like, you had Ralph Lawrence, Mikey Meyer, AJ,
major player Mike Meyer.
Yeah, he's
hold on, nobody's stealing my question. That is not my question.
Sorry. We'll get into that in a little bit. We'll get it. Sorry.
Well, let's get over to Stretch, my guy Stretch here.
Stretch. I kind of started, I'd say, probably towards the tail end of high school, and then into college as well. Like Jimmy said, with a good old team called Blackout. Both of the Manizzi brothers, Anthony Scarlata, Anthony Misek, Noach. We had a nice young team. A lot of Bridgeport kids, a lot of Scar Manizzi's buddies, Dom Cosentino, Johnny Sabia, those guys. And we played like Donovan. We played at Taylor Street 1 year, and just different tournaments. Ultimately, kind of getting to the point where I ran into and I kind of known Mickey, Little Mick, Balestri before, but that's really where I then started. Like I finally started playing a little bit with like those Vision Rewind teams that he had at the time for a few years. Playing in like A Nationals and stuff like that. That team was a lot of fun. We like to go out to the bar after McGaffers, especially at Forest Park, and then played in Clyde. From there, then we started like the Lose One team. So there's like a core of those guys. We played on started the Lose One team. Johnny Heemer, Timmy Petrus was a part of that. Scotty Toothpick, like Jimmy mentioned. Bobby Ronald was on that team, the great Bobby Ronald. Again, a lot of fun, a lot of drinking. The main thing for us was like, going to the bar after. We had a nice little run at Forest Park 1 year. I think we finished fourth, finished second at North South 1 year, losing to Flash. But, so we had a solid team, came in second at A Nationals the 1 year. And then did 1 year. Then we had 1 year of Moneyline. Or two years of Moneyline. Jim, were you on the last year of Lose One, or were we called Moneyline at the time?
It was last year Lose One, right? It was the COVID year, right?
Yeah. So COVID year, and then the next year we did 1 year of Moneyline, and at that time we went from playing just Forest Park. We had been playing Clyde and Forest Park, and then they got rid of the Clyde League, which sucked because Clyde was so much fun. And then Forest Park, and we went from doing Forest Park to now we got to play Forest Park and Melrose. And a lot of us were like, no, we don't. Like, we play plenty of softball. And that's where it kind of went downhill for me. It just is not like driving to Forest Park, driving to Melrose from the south side from Mount Greenwood is a huge pain in the ass. To go out to leagues that, you get 60% attendance to, games that don't really matter. You're not really going out a ton. Let's play a 9 o'clock game at Forest Park that doesn't start until 9:45 because everyone's doing 10 mound visits in the 2 games before you. It's not fun. It's not fun doing all that stuff. So it became very easy to me. And at that time, I had already been playing on Mint. Nicky Pacelli had asked me one time to play. So I'm pretty sure me and Jimmy started at the same time or the same year. And it was just such an easy decision. Like, all right, let me play Tuesday, Thursday in the neighborhood, play on Sundays or whatever. So just kind of decide. And at the time too, a lot of the guys, our core group of guys like Heemer and Petrus and Scott, like everyone was kind of just fizzling out. Like, that was like the core that I had been playing with for a while. And once those guys started to kind of slip away, there just wasn't the urge to, continue to play. Like I had my fun 7 or 8 years or whatever it was. And just, figured I'd do something that's a lot closer and honestly just more fun and enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah. That Kennedy League is awesome. And it's super competitive. I mean, there's tons of good teams out there. And, we had a couple questions come in while you were talking, Stretch. Matt Menizzi wants to know why they call you Stretch. Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure Dom Cosentino gave me that nickname. I don't know if it started as Stretch Armstrong and then just shortened it to Stretch, but I'm pretty sure he gets the credit on that. You'd have to ask him what made him think of giving me that, but I'm pretty sure he's the originator of it.
Okay, that's fair. I just thought it was because you're tall. Yeah, we've got great comments talking about Bobby Ronald, Joe Monza, who was umpiring all day out there. Very impressive performance. Enjoyed working your games. Joe's a great umpire and missed a couple calls for lace. Otherwise, we could be holding a trophy, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, great, and congrats again on an awesome day. I want to talk about, there was a play, and Jimmy, I'll let you talk about this. There was a play at the plate in the first game, and I believe it involved Donnie McAvoy and White Sox Dave. And I want to know a little bit about the altercation, if you could speak on it.
I don't remember all I remember is what Donnie said, and it was because it was fucking hilarious.
You can say whatever you want on this show.
Yes.
I remember. Don was he was safe, and White Sox Dave thought he was out, which is not surprising because that guy just loves to be different. And it was closer than we thought, but Don was obviously safe. And White Sox Dave just kept arguing, and Don said, "Shut up, you midget." And that was pretty much it. And then White Sox Dave said some other comment, but I didn't really catch that. But yeah, we went down 3-1, 4-1, and we never we never went down on ourselves. We knew like we were gonna hit, but we were like, okay, when's this coming? And then we just just get a couple.
We
of
scored
hits
12
here
in the bottom of the fifth and walk off slaughtered them.
Yeah. But they were, surprisingly they were hitting. I only knew a few guys on that team, but they shockingly hit pretty well.
Yeah. Speaking of Jimmy, one more thing, and then I'll pass it back to you. Speaking of Barstool, I saw some interactions with you, Stretch, on Twitter this week.
Yeah.
And there might be some new ownership of Team Mint in the future.
Yeah, so they had the podcast and Big Cat. It was cool seeing Big Cat out there. I think that that was the first time that he's actually been able to come to it. So it was cool seeing him out there. Obviously, the Barstool team has been in it for a little while. But on their podcast, they were just kind of talking about, how and funny enough, I ran into Eddie at an event earlier this summer and kind of jokingly told him that they need to fire White Sox Dave just because their teams have been dog shit ever since they've got in it. And with all the connections they have, they should have better players. And sure shit, we drew them, first round and then, slaughtered them. But they were talking about how White Sox Dave's no longer going to be the GM and Big Cat's just getting to the point where like he wants to host a trophy and he just wants to start paying players. Or he's like, well, I'll just pay Mint to be Team Barstool or whatever. And Eddie, to his credit, said like, they won't change their name to like they're a deeply rooted South Side team, which we are. So then he kind of joked that it would be like Mint presented by Team Barstool. So I just kind of tweeted at him. And then he commented on it, and I sent him like a quick DM or whatnot. So it was just a quick interaction, but just kind of funny to hear them guys talking about it. And the tournament in itself, obviously, it's a great event, and they've been a part of it for a while. So it's kind of cool to see them talking about it on their podcast for like 10 to 12 minutes or whatever it was.
That's awesome.
So that's going to kind of lead me right into my first question, okay? Because I know you talked about Barstool, but let's talk about the real man on the internet, which is Richie Battistoni. All right. Every time the guy posts something, he gets 150 plus comments on anything he posts.
He does.
And he just goes off all the time. Okay. He gets paid very well at the bar. So obviously he's on his phone 24/7. Okay. So he's working hard, as we all know. But let's talk about his post about the 4 major players before we get into Team Mint, because I got a lot of questions about the tournament as well. I saw you guys going back and forth, and I'm guessing now that at first I didn't realize your post about the Dells tournament. Then I went back and read some of those posts, and I kind of got the joke. It was like 60 to 70 teams with open rosters. Talk about I know there was 4 major players they're saying on the one team, and usually there's a committee for that. Obviously it was missed or whatever the case may be. But what's your opinion on that? And I guess we'll start with you, Stretch, because it was kind of more on your post. We were going back and forth. What's your side of it?
So there was kind of like 2 different things he was kind of like trying to accomplish maybe with that post. The 4 major player thing, that was like head first or what. None of us even knew about that like until, I don't know, Sunday or whatever.
Right.
My guy Danny Dispenza was not too happy to hear about to find that out because they lost a head first. But that's messed up. Like this, I mean, we've been a team that has played with our Kennedy Park team essentially every year of the tournament. I sat out a year because I was still considered major and didn't play with the team. We've had Scar and Smokey get used to like that rule is something that obviously has been in place for a while. And, they do a really good job of making sure that people abide by that rule. How in the world Head First was able to slip through the cracks this year with that, I don't know. Yeah. It's crazy. And I don't know. I know Pops. I know Mike Meyer. I don't know who the other 2 guys are. But yeah, that was kind of something that was like separate from like what me and him were going together at, because then he just made a comment about just make it open rosters and you'll get more teams and make more money. And right. I just said that comment makes no sense because like that's insinuating that the tournament is like struggling or looking for or needing more teams. And there's a wait list of 20 something teams. It's a one night tournament. It already starts at 4:00 and ends in between 11 and midnight. Like, What do you mean make it open roster? Like, we don't need open rosters to get more teams. Like you can't run a tournament of 40, 50, 60 teams on one night. Like it's
right.
It's
and that's the thing. Yeah. And that would be the thing that kind of would ruin, I think, the whole mecca of the tournament. I think the cool part about the tournament is it's one day, it ends one night, right? I mean, it's a Friday, boom, you're done.
That's what's the unique thing outside of obviously the event itself and what they do for, all the families and everything. Yeah. What one of the main things that makes it special and unique is the fact that it's on just a Friday night. Like if you start to add more teams, then you can't have it on a Friday night anymore. Then it just becomes another tournament on a Saturday,
Right.
So like we don't need open rosters. And that's why I joke like, hey, Liam called me. You and your open roster team are 25th on the wait list. We'll see you in 2050, dude.
Yeah.
That's great.
No, I mean, it makes sense. And I think to your point, it is the uniqueness of that tournament, like having it on Friday. The one thing that always blows my mind about it is you never have commitment issues for Papa Hops usually, okay? Guys find a way to get there at 4:30, even though we're 4:00 when they have work. They find ways. And that's what I think is pretty cool about it, because it's like we can't get people out at the major game sometimes at a 8 o'clock at night game during the week or on a weekend or whatever. But that tournament, people somehow magically.
Oh no!
I think what he was getting at was that people magically show up for a 4 p.m. game. Jenny really had to print something out, so she had to get in the room.
He's just acting frozen.
Yeah, there we go. He's back. There we go.
I'm back. Sorry, guys, I hit the wrong button. I'm on my kid's computer. These things are high tech nowadays. It's not up to my level. So, But what I was saying is it's just, I find it unique that all these players do come back and, and find ways to get there at 4:00 on a Friday, but they can't get out on a Saturday at 7. It's just so weird. But really quick before we get to Jim, I got some things I want to share. My first thing is this might be the best pitcher ever in softball history. This is Stretch and his little brother Kurt. This was taken in Iowa. Okay. Team Jagoff weekend. Represent to the boys. But we laughed about this pitcher for literally weeks after it was taken. It was one of the greatest ones I've seen just because of how short Kurt is. It's look at Stretch. It's just good, man. It's so funny. And then my second thing, I'm going to embarrass Stretch on this, but my second thing, and Stretch probably already knows it's coming. This
Oh yeah.
Steve Batnich just showed up in Arizona.
For those that know who Steve is.
What's funny about that is Stretch pitches like
Stretch does this now.
yeah. You learn from us.
I mean, that was from the Arizona trip about 5 years ago that Stretch and I usually annually go on. I know we didn't go this year, but the previous 5 years we've been on the same trip. And one of the years he did that video, and I was laughing for days. So, but go ahead, Donnie, with your first question.
Stretch, I noticed that you actually pitch like that now. You throw your two hands up a lot.
Yeah,
I stole it from Steve. Like I used to doing the impression so much. I'm like, screw it. Maybe I'll just do it during games and see if it works. And I don't know, especially in the 1-1 count, I think it was screwing up some of the guys on Barstool. But whatever. As long as I throw strikes, that's all I care about.
Right.
Yeah,
With the
he
defense,
did not walk anybody all day.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like
with the defense you had behind you, as long as they put the ball in play, they'd be out the majority of the time. Really quick, I want to highlight a very funny comment, Jimmy. I think this is your son that said,
Yes.
"Give me my Chromebook back. I want to play backyard baseball."
Yes, it is my son.
So you're using his laptop to do the show.
I am. Because
Okay,
Aunt Jenny
That
took
is
our other
awesome.
one. So
That is hilarious.
I bought him a brand new gaming laptop computer for his birthday. And I said, sorry, I got to use that tonight.
Give me back my Chromebook. I was sent this photo. We'll talk about this next. Kind of my, one of the first things I want to talk about. I was sent this photo today, and I want you guys to both kind of give your opinion on it. But how about this?
So that's our
like the hype man,
rah guy.
So he hypes the team up a lot.
yeah, he was. I mean, he
Drinks
played
a lot of
Iowa.
Miller Lights. Yeah.
He was a good ball player, but softball is not his thing.
He's our like designated screamer in the dugout. He wore that. Every time I see the picture of that with the visor with the hair, that's not as obviously not his real hair. He's bald. But he's like he's just like our screamer in the dugout. Like pisses the other team off, gets everybody riled up. And these guys were having fun with different AI photos, and this one was awesome with the Guy Fieri Guy Patempa.
That is hilarious.
That is good.
That's amazing.
Can I just add something about Mint real quick about just how great it for us to in Papa Hops and just how we started in 2000. Well, I didn't obviously. Me or Stretch were not on that team, but what's cool about us, Mint, and being in Papa Hops is they started in 2009 with Danny Golden and Marciano, Nick Artolino. And what's cool about us now is that pretty much 80% of that team is, one way or another still on the team, or they're in the group chat. They played 15, 16. And so I think that's a big part of our success is just like, the same core guys are on that team. Just keeping everybody together is a big part of it. And I think sometimes that goes unnoticed and they deserve credit for that, because like me, I grew up in Garfield Ridge, and then I come here, and I pretty much was sworn in from them, and that means a lot.
Even an outfielder.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I was. It's just a testament to how good of guys they are.
Yeah.
In our team, like we don't always just go Tuesday, Thursday and play softball. We hang out on the weekends. We do, and I'm sure I know other teams do that, but it's just pretty cool with our team. And we get a lot of hate, but we also.
Yeah. I don't think you get a lot of hate. I think that, and this is my next question, kind of leads right into it about, about Mount Greenwood, about Kennedy. We talk about like the major game kind of dying off a little bit, but when you play the major tournaments, I was talking to Stretch offline about this the other day. There's usually only 6 or 8 teams that could possibly win the tournament, right? Just say. Now at Kennedy Park, there's only usually about 8 teams that can win that tournament every year, right? I mean, usually if you look at it, it's very similar to what the major game is. Usually it's the same 6, 7 teams in the Final Four. Same thing here. So I guess that kind of leads my question with Mint is that you guys won. This is your 3rd one now in Papa Hops. I think you guys won early on back in the day when the tournament originated. This has been kind of the first one in the last 5 or 6 years, right?
10. Last one before this 10. Was 2016, and which me and Jimmy were not on the team at that point.
Right. So I guess where I'm getting at is like Papa Hops. Do you think it's going to be more competitive in regards to more teams being involved over the next 5 years? Because I think, just my opinion, right, looking at it all, do you see that kind of going up a little bit now that major softball is kind of flaking out a little bit from where we stand? Because I think Papa Hops is different. It's cool. But in 5 years from now, right, is it going to continue to grow? But I'm going to start with you, Jimmy. What's your thought process on that? Because I look at teams now in Papa Hops, and it's a very similar concept to what I see in the major game with 6 or 8 teams only have a chance to win it. Or do you think that could change?
I'm probably not the guy to answer this because I just ultimately, I love softball. But, I think if guys are not, once they come out of college, if they don't move back home, it's hard for them to get back into softball or to start playing, and I think that's where we're headed a little bit because, it's just that time of era, I guess. I just think kids are, they're doing their own thing now. Nobody really, I don't know, maybe it's just Southside is different or kids are just moving away from home and they're going places where there's no softball because, they have other opportunities. Guys like us, especially on the South Side where there's a lot of city workers, a lot of union workers, and they come home and they live at home for a couple years and you go to the bar every night and you play softball.
Right.
That was kind of the norm for us. I mean, I think it still is, but I wouldn't be surprised if it, in a couple of years dies down a bit.
I mean, I wouldn't say down. I think my opinion is with the major game dying, I think the tournament's probably going to get better. I think you're going to have a lot better teams because there's not going to be many people playing major. They don't consider A or B really a part of the major ruling of the tournament. I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking if major level softball dies, is that tournament? I mean, the thing that sucks, it's only one day a year, but the cool thing about it is it's the format and how they run it on Friday. You've seen how it's grown over the last, when I played in Kennedy Park 10 years ago, when I was out there with Chuck and some of the guys that were, they were going out to Kennedy Park all the time. The tournament, it was just like a normal tournament. And then all of a sudden, 4 years later, it kind of exploded. Now the last 6 years, it's been all everyone talks about in softball. It gets the most attendance, it gets the most people. It's probably one of the best days because people hang out and drink and party and whatever. And that's all what softball I feel is about today. And I think we need to bring some of that into the major game. But, getting into that, it's like, how do we get those kids to be able to, the teams in Kennedy Park, like the Kennedy Park All-Stars that I called and wanted to, I called Stretch first, and I wanted to bring them into the major game because I think that's how the game grows, right? That's how we get more people involved. They came out, played great, won the tournament. Like, to me, that's not bad for softball. That's a good thing, right? So, like, how do we get that? And I'm going to go to you, Stretch, next. Like, what's your opinion on kind of like what we're discussing here? And, I know you mentioned, the game, this, that, and the driving, but like, how do we get a Kennedy Park team to be able to play in a major event or in those events and not be affected by Papa Hops? Because I think people that play the major games say, oh, Papa Hops is this, Papa Hops is that. It kind of hurts softball because those guys don't want to play major softball. But I think overall softball would be better if those guys weren't considered, because it's really, if you really think about it, it's one tournament a year, right? And you're missing other tournaments. So, like, I just want to know your opinion on that. And I know it's a neighborhood thing, and I get all that. But, like, for the game itself, because everyone's competitors, and, we were talking about Southside tournaments not being as many now on the South Side as to what there was a couple of years ago. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I think there's a couple different layers. I mean, I think, if there's this idea that, younger guys or guys like myself or guys that maybe like Jimmy that had played before don't want to play major softball strictly because they don't want to be counted towards, Papa Hops, or they're afraid of playing, so the younger guys are afraid of playing major softball. I mean, that's just, something for the major egomaniacs to think about. I mean, proof is in the pudding. Right. Like you said, you had a tournament, there was a team from Kennedy Park that, got put together, went out there and won it. It's not a case of like anyone being afraid of major teams or whatnot. I think to me, and I tell people this all the time, especially around here, we need to stop putting this term major player on a pedestal. Major player doesn't mean that you're, number one, it doesn't mean that you're good at softball. Like, first off, it doesn't mean that you're good at softball. Correct. Let alone better than anyone that plays in any park league anywhere across the city. All it means is that you have a higher commitment level to go play in the different leagues and all the different tournaments required to play on those major teams. That's all it is. So what I then ask you is, what's the, like, at this current stage, like for the question of like, hey, how do we get more Southside guys, or how do we get more younger people to play major softball?
Or just softball better as a whole.
Yeah. What's the appeal of major softball right now?
Right.
What's the appeal of it? All I see all the time online is people complaining about it.
Right.
All the guys currently playing it, all they do is complain about teams getting in this tournament. Oh, the SSA doesn't listen to us. They don't listen to the players. We want this, and nobody's listening. That's all guys do, are complain about it, and then you want to wonder why, like, no one wants to come, play. I mentioned it earlier. Like, sorry, dude, no one around here wants to go play in Melrose and Forest Park on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, play a 9:00 game, get home at 11. Like Jimmy said, you got a lot of city workers, guys that wake up at the crack of dawn to go do physical labor. Like, what's the appeal of that? Like, to be able to play in one tournament, the Forest Park tournament, every year. And again, if you're, like you said, if you're not on one of the 4 or 5 teams that win that tournament every year, like, hey, don't get me wrong, playing in the Forest Park tournament's awesome. Like, it's a lot of fun. But do I have to play in all the other bullshit all year to be able to play in that? Like, it's just, it's not, there's no appeal, especially for younger guys who didn't grow up, necessarily playing as much or a part of maybe like the softball community or world as guys like us. Obviously my dad being a huge part of it, and just, other guys in high school and whatnot. I think there's just a lot more stuff going on that you can get involved with. But like, to me, that's the question. What is the appeal? I don't know, to be quite honest.
I think you're 100% right. I mean, I think that's why the last 3-4 years I've been barking, like, we need change in the game. If you watch, Donnie and I talk about this all the time, like, there is no appeal to me. No offense. And not only that, but also as a softball player who's played in back then and now plays now, I don't get, I couldn't tell you the last time I got up to play a softball game. Now, and I think that has a lot to do with, to your point, you show up, the other team's missing 6, 7 guys. We're missing 3 or 4 guys. You're driving out. I'm driving 45 minutes sometimes to some of these games. And quite frankly, I worked all day. I'm fucking tired. And it's like you get out there and it's just, to your point, it's not, I don't, and I love the guys that play with.
His damn
There
kid's
you go.
computer.
Chromebook.
This is awesome. He was, yeah. I mean, Stretch, I'm a little bit different though. Like I love playing tournament softball. I enjoy playing the major tournaments because I like that high level of competition, right? High level of competition, and fortunate enough to play on one of the teams that can win any tournament. So for me, it's a little bit different, right? I get excited to go out there and compete knowing that we have a shot to win it. And Jimmy, Jimmy probably feels the same way in that aspect, but Jimmy's won the big tournaments already. I haven't won Forest Park. I've won a couple of major tournaments in my, couple of years with Signature now, but Forest Park is my Papa Hops, right? I'm not a Southside guy. I have been there 3 years, my whole life, right? So for me, Forest Park is my Mecca, right? So I want to win that, and that's why I play major ball. But I'm kind of an anomaly with that because I'm so committed, and there's not a lot of guys that do that. But I see what you're saying for sure, in that there is a decline in it because maybe there just isn't an appeal if you don't play for the top 5 teams. You're absolutely right. Which sucks, but
part of it too is there's a really good, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good.
And I think part of what doesn't help that there isn't as much of appeal is that the alternate, especially for guys around here, is you can play at like a Kennedy or you can play at a Mount Greenwood. There's a lot of really fun even though they've started to dwindle down a little bit, there's still fun one-day charity tournaments around here. Bucks for Burn, Best of Western. Obviously Jimmy runs a great one at Dana Strong. But like there's like, so it's not like the alternative is, oh, I just got to go play at some random park or go play at like the Chicago social stuff in Lincoln Park with a bunch of dorks and it's not really competitive or fun. Like you can play, around here, and there's plenty of leagues around here that are still super fun, competitive. You're close to home, you get a bar that sponsors you go out to the bar after. Like, so the alternative, it just makes that alternative look a lot better. And
Right.
And I don't think that, like if Papa Hops didn't exist, I still think that there's not, maybe you get some more people playing, but I think this idea that like there's just there's 10s and 20s and 30s and of all these kids that are just not playing just because they want to, play in Papa Hops. I think it's probably part of it, but there's just more like in this, more to it than just simply that. And it just kind of comes down to like, all right, so my option is to either play in the neighborhood with all my buddies, my friends, play all these fun tournaments, or I can play on a team with a bunch of guys that I don't really, maybe know or, don't like necessarily hang out with. And I got to drive like 45 minutes twice a week playing all these different league games. Like, I don't know, what are you going to pick,
Well, yeah. No,
people are
I don't know
different,
if I'm
but
back. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, sorry. I don't know, my kid's messing with my internet, I guess. But either way, what I was getting at is, Stretcher, you're 100% right, and I think that's where softball is. And it's like, even if there wasn't Papa Hops, I don't know if you get the Southside kids to actually play major ball because, to your point, the games, it's been the same shit for the last 15, 20 years of my life, and it's really not that appealing anymore. It's just not. I'm sorry. There's only 2 tournaments a year that I actually care about on the major level: Forest Park and Nationals. That's it. The rest of them, to me, are just a waste of time. Yeah, I might have fun, but I don't know. Like, to your point, Stretch, it's like, why drive out to Melrose on a Tuesday, Thursday when you can drive 5 minutes from your house? 10 years ago, you were getting major commitment. Now you're not. These teams show up with half a team. So I agree with you. I just wish there was a solution to make the game better and somehow mix the two, but it's just never going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Papa Hops, and I saw somebody say like Forest Park will never be Papa Hops, and like it's let's not forget Papa Hops is a charity tournament, and it's great because one, the Hopkins family knows how to run it, and the amount of people they help throughout the year. So I would, I don't think it's that way because the whole community comes together for a good cause, and softball is secondary to that.
Right.
And I think that's why, I mean, Forest Park it's still a great tournament, and
Awesome.
still fun to play in, and all the people there. But like, it'll never be Papa Hops because it's not a charity, and they're not doing anything to help the community like they are here. As far as what Papa Hops is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just think it's totally different comparables.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people watch and how many people actually stick around that lost at 4:00 that are there and physically move to a different park to watch softball.
Donnie, can you pull that question back up on the screen?
Yeah,
it was a good question. I think it came in by Chris. So they used to do this back in the day, and
somebody ruined it.
Team. Yeah, I was on the team that ruined it. So
what happened with that?
If you play a Kennedy Park League, you should be grandfathered in the Papa Hops and not considered a major player. So my buddy Chuck, many years ago, we were in a Kennedy Park League, and you had to play so many games in the Kennedy Park League. As long as you're on the roster, you weren't considered major. Well, pretty much our whole OBI roster and part of, I guess, Jinx at the time was on Chuck's roster. And so that's kind of what ruined, I feel, that rule. But that is a good rule. But I don't see
if you could, if you could find a way to, police that, you put a minimum of, we play an 18-game schedule at Kennedy. You say you have to play in, 12 games or 9 games, whatever you want to put it at, in order to be, considered, grandfathered in or whatnot. But, now that just, that involves a lot of obviously different work and, people keeping track of rosters and somebody walking around making sure that, so-and-so was actually there playing and wasn't just put on, the roster or put in the lineup and then somebody else hit, you know what I mean? Like it just, it would require a lot of different work. It's at least an idea, which, I think a lot of us, we like to complain about stuff and then never try to bring a solution to the table. I'm guilty of that myself as well. It's a good idea. But it would require a lot of, work and whether, someone or a group of people would want to do that is ultimately what would come down to whether that's put in place or not. And just in general, like Liam and, them, if whether they would even want, to do that and have to keep track of all that, for the sake of the tournament.
I mean, the good news is if the major level keeps going the way it is, there'll be no more major softball. So everyone will be able to play Papa Hops. So
Jim, why do you think that is?
Why do I think there won't be any major softball anymore?
Yeah, like what do you think?
I think a lot of the better major players are all getting older.
Yeah.
I don't think that the younger kids are playing major ball because, to Stretch's point, it's really not that appealing. I mean, there's some young, good talent that plays major games. Don't get me wrong. I'm not discrediting that, but I just think people are sick of the same old shit. I mean, and if you look in, I'm not saying we're professionals, but if you look in professional sports, every goddamn sport changes the rules and makes something more interesting. Just like baseball, they changed the game, they sped up the game, they made it faster, became more interesting. Games are shorter. We on the other hand, we don't do that. We bitch when it's a 1-on-1 count. It's like, dude, I love 1-on-1 count. Like action, quick, boom, go. You know what I mean? Like it's just, you're not sitting there. Every guy, 80% of softball takes the first pitch anyways. You know what I mean? So it's like you're getting a 1-on-1 regardless however you look at it, because the pitcher gets ahead of you, then he's throwing a shit pitch. Now it's 1-on-1. So you're eliminating that. Okay. I don't know. I just think softball needs a change. That's all. I think that's something reason why I ran my tournament this year. It's a different format. My whole thought process was to get teams to come in from out of states and stuff, but it takes time. You know, it doesn't happen in the first year. They got to hear good things, good feedback. You know, we're handing out Surfside. We were handing out Surfsides for free all over the park. I mean, what other tournament has done that? Nobody. You know, we had a dunk tank. Nobody. You know what I mean? That has had that. So, like, I think it's really cool. I think it's just different, you know, and I think people had a good time, even though we only had 11 teams or 12 teams. Like, it was a great time. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean, shit, Donnie, how many people we have in the championship game for a major event was probably the highest attendance we've had all season for a championship.
People stuck around. Yeah, people stuck around and watched because it was different.
One day.
Yeah.
Like,
and
so I don't know. So that's a great question, Jim. We'll get to that at the end. But Donnie, go ahead with your next.
Yeah. To keep moving this along, and we could talk about this, you know, until we're blue in the face. Nothing is going to change at this given moment, right? So I wanted to talk about a great moment that I saw in your second game. Stretch specifically played against your younger brother in Papa Hops on the main diamond. Like, talk about that moment for you.
Yeah, it's really cool. There's a pretty big age gap between us. I think he's 23. I'm 36. He's 23. So he just got done with college fairly recently. He went. Seems like he went to college for 10 years. We played against each other a couple of years now at Kennedy. We played against them in the championship last year at Kennedy, which was fun. Obviously won that, and then played against them on in game 2. You know, beat him again. So I pretty much own him at this point while he's still young. But no, him and his group of like core guys are very, very good. They're going to continue to get better. But it's really cool, especially for my mom and my sister. Being able to be out there and just kind of watch us. I joke with my mom that she always sits on his side of the field whenever we play. But no, it's really cool. I think we've played a couple times on like different tournaments or whatnot. Hopefully we can do some more of that as we go forward. But anyone that gets to play against or play with their brother is obviously a cool moment, especially in like a big stage like that.
Yeah. That is really cool. He is a damn good softball player right now, and he is going to be a really, really good softball player in the next couple of years when he keeps on playing, because he hits bombs. And, I'm sure Stretch, you hit the ball just a little bit further than he does, but he does hit the ball quite far.
Yeah, he does. So, he pisses
Jimmy, he's a beast. Jimmy, I want to pass it over to you, and we're talking about great moments in the tournament. I think I saw you make one out on Friday night combined in all of your games. I mean, everything was line drive up the middle, left side, right side. It was fun to watch. What was your favorite moment specifically of that tournament?
Probably when I got in an argument with the umpire.
Over what?
I'm joking. I don't know, something stupid. My favorite thing about that tournament was everybody on our team got into play at some point or another.
Nice.
Everyone on that bench got in and played, and that was pretty cool. Looking back at it, I mean, I still can't believe we won. I think it's cool that. It's really cool because, a lot of the guys are from the South Side and a lot of them are close with the Hopkins. And I think it meant that, they grew up with Mr. Hopkins, and I think it meant that much more to them. So I just think all of us being able to celebrate together. Yeah, I did. The first game I went, Nick said, after I made you pinch run, you didn't get out. The first game against Barstool, I was like, I don't know, I think I had one hit, but I started off 0 for 3, and Nick looked at me and said, Jim, go into pinch run, you need to get in the game. And after that, and then Dan had one of our the guys on our team, Dan had just kind of said, get your head out of your ass. And I mean, the first game, no matter who you're playing, it's always going to be a little bit nerve-wracking, and I don't care what people, if you don't get nervous, then you're not competitive or you just don't care.
Sure.
So I think that was part of it. But yeah, ultimately that was the coolest part of the tournament.
And if you don't want a courtesy run, don't make it out.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to.
There you go.
This is a great comment, Jimmy. This is probably the umpire you argued with.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah. I knew that was him on there.
Joe is great. He's a great umpire.
He's awesome. He's probably
He's awesome.
If not the best umpire in softball. But yeah, it was just guys being guys, and
yeah,
he is ranked number 1 on our list, Donnie. Just so you know,
he is fantastic. Jimmy, go ahead with your next.
I did apologize to him, by the way.
So, my next question, I want to know. You kind of asked Jimmy the question right now, but I want to know, like, what was the funniest moment of the week? Because there's always something of the day that's like kind of funny. The whole team laughs. What was the most funniest moment for your team on that night? Like the best moment that you're like, you look back at it now and you're like, man, that guy did that. It was hysterical. We were laughing for a couple innings. Go ahead, Stretch. You can answer first what Jimmy thinks.
Yeah, I mean the Donnie thing with White Sox Dave was funny. We were talking about that for a while, just because White Sox Dave like went out of his way to tweet about it, and he mentioned it on their podcast, but then repeatedly like would make sure that everyone knew he didn't care. Like he didn't care at all. Like enough to where he mentioned it multiple times unprompted. So that was kind of funny. Just some of the pictures from like being at Lawler's on Friday night. I don't think Sean Garrett had his shirt on the entire night. So like just that stuff, everyone's firing off funny pictures in the group text. But and I kind of mentioned, Sean made the comment I mentioned earlier, but the Potempa, like him wearing that fucking visor with the hair sticking out of it. Every time I looked at him, I couldn't help but chuckle.
Jimmy, what do you got, Jim?
Just probably piggybacking on that. I mean, we were so locked in. It was, honestly, there was probably no time to have laughs during the games. Probably like, my dad was there and my brother, and they were cockeyed, and I said, just like go over there, But yeah, I think we were just so locked in, and then obviously after you're at Lawler's, then you just start really having a good time, and everybody, passing out bombs.
And so I did keep my tradition, Donnie. I always go live at Lawler's if the winning team is there. I did it with the Gamblers. I did it with them. So next year, maybe there'll be another team. We'll see. But they did a shot, and I always get the winning team doing a shot, the victory shot. So. So it was great. I mean, Lawler's was packed as it always is after Papa Hops. Good time. I had a lot of fun. So congrats, guys, to you. Donnie, I'm out of questions except for my last one. So if you have any more, go right ahead.
I've got one more quick question. Stretch, what major team will you be playing for next year since you won Papa Hops already?
None. None. There may have been a comment made, but that comment was made outside of state lines, therefore making it invalid. So I will not be participating next year.
All right,
he's going to be on my travel team next year, Donnie.
I heard a rumor that you might be making your journey back, but I guess we can put that to bed.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you guys. That's it for me. Thank you guys for being a part of this show. Jimmy will have his final question, but if I don't say anything else to you, I appreciate you both coming on the show. But Jimmy, fire away.
Yeah, so Stretch, we talk a lot. Jimmy, we talk a lot about the game, making it better. Jimmy, we'll start with you before we go to Stretch, as we started with him last time. What would you do today, either to change the game or bring something new into the game that would make softball better in your eyes? So, anything that comes to mind. Anything that comes to mind.
First thing that comes to mind would just be eliminate major players. I mean, if you really want to grow the game, just take softball as a whole and eliminate major players. That's not going to happen. I don't know if it should happen, but like if your goal is to to grow the game and get people to keep playing. I don't know if that's just what I think, because it's hard for guys to go and drive an hour, to play major softball. But if there's tournaments here, but you can play and you don't have to be major, but all those teams are in it, then yeah, I think we would all play in that one, because in the back of our heads, we know those are major players, major teams, but they're, maybe they're not labeled major anymore. And I think, say Mint wanted to go and try and beat those guys and show them who we are without being a major player.
So Stretch, and I'm going to add to what you're saying. Stretch brought up earlier in the show, just because you play in a major team, you're not a major player. 100% agree with him, because you got guys like that play on certain major teams that maybe are only pinch runners or they only do certain little things. We all know they're not major players, but they're considered major. But if major softball made a top 50 list or 40 or whatever the number is, just say 100, whatever, it don't matter, and they made that list, would you think it would be easier, better, worse? Because I know we and Donnie did it by positions.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that would help?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, it would. It'd be
tough to do.
Think it'd be hard. I think it'd be really hard to do, to nail that down.
If you're that convinced that guys aren't playing because of Papa Hops, then make a top 64 list, because you got 32 teams, 2 major guys a team. Make a top 64 list and go, all right, these 64 guys count, the rest of you don't. But like if you're that adamant that that's the reason why people aren't playing.
I don't know.
But,
I'm just saying. Do you think? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
no. I'm not saying you are,
Yeah.
but like, sure. I think still, like it's the tournament itself isn't going to change, because like I said, we talked about earlier. You can't, we're not going to be adding more teams. It's just going to be a longer wait list. Like it's just logistically not you're not able to add more teams. So that's not going to change.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. So over to you, Stretch. Jimmy, good question or good answer. Over to you. What is something that you would think that we could change the game, make it better? I know you always got big time opinions, so I'm curious to see what you think.
Yeah, first thing, I'd probably ban batting gloves. Just get rid of those. Like, and then I think just I don't know, try to fuck around or change the formatting of your tournaments. Like you did the pool play thing. Obviously Yuma does that. Playing in that this past year was fun. Just change the formatting. Do more single limb. Just the 3-day, 4-day tournaments. Like nobody cares about them. Like nobody wants to play in them. It's that's played out, as you mentioned. Like nothing has changed about those tournaments. There's nothing appealing about them. I think if you can just do shorter, quicker, tournaments, like you said, you guys had a bunch of people go out to that thing on Saturday. Obviously, the 1 day Friday night thing gets a lot of people. Even when we have the Saturday 1 day, Bucks for Burn or the Sobachek tournament that we used to have here, or the Kennelly tournament that we used to have at Kennedy Park. By the time that championship game runs around, you've got a real nice crowd there. People stick around, on a 1 day thing. Maybe that's just a South Side thing, which I think part of it could be because, all those people are from or in the neighborhood, so, if you have a tournament in, Schaumburg or Mount Prospect or, Carroll Stream, and even if it's a 1 day, that's still a hike for, a lot of people maybe coming back home. But I don't know, screw with it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? All right, it doesn't work, or all right, this tournament wasn't a success. At least we tried something different instead of just running back the same thing over and over again that everyone keeps complaining about, but nobody changes. So
the thing is to your point, is 3-day tournaments or 4-day tournaments, in my opinion, they do suck. But if you want players to play, for them to drive out there 1 day, you're more likely to get that player to drive out there for 1 day than 3. That's just my opinion. What is the biggest problem in softball? Attendance. commitment. One day improves all that. If they can't make the one day, they weren't making the 3 anyways. That's the way I look at it, right? So in this case,
that's a great point.
Like, what's the difference? You play one day, and you're going to have more people stick around the park on a Saturday night, no doubt, 100%. So I don't know. I mean, Pisons and the vendors I had did not care. They made their money. They were happy to be there, and I didn't hear any complaints. I think they sold out of pizza, Donnie, didn't they? Sold out of sausage pizza. So, I mean, the guys were loving it. Like, I don't know. So either way, great points. At this part of the show, guys, we hand it over to you. Any questions, anything for Donnie or I that you want to bring up and want to ask us? We both appreciate you guys coming on, and congratulations again on Papa Hops. But the floor is your guys. Go ahead with your questions if you have any.
I got nothing. I just thank you guys for doing this. I mean, part of it is you guys are growing the game by doing this. So I think that's pretty cool to see. And it's hard. It's not easy to do. I mean, for both of you, you guys are always, at tournaments, videoing, doing this late nights. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate having us on. I'm glad I was able to finally get on here and kind of just talk about some stuff. Jimmy, like as Jimmy mentioned earlier, I think we're lucky to be a part of a team like we're on, with the Mint team, just with the group of guys that we have, the ties. The Hopkins family grew up down the block from my mom's house, so known them ever since we moved into the neighborhood. They were extremely supportive and helped out when my dad was battling and going through cancer. So that they have a special place in my family's heart and a lot of the hearts of families on the South Side, and especially guys on our team. So being able to finally put it together and win this year was awesome, and to do it with the group of guys that we did, never forget that. And like Jimmy said, it still kind of hasn't hit yet. I know we'll probably celebrate some more this weekend at his block party, but no, just appreciate the time, and glad we were able to hop on for a little bit.
Sweet.
All right.
Yeah.
We definitely appreciate you guys coming on. But thank you guys. Stretch, any questions for us? You good?
No, I'm good.
All right. Donnie.
Appreciate you guys a lot.
So
thanks, guys.
Thank you guys. We appreciate it. See you soon. So Donnie, you know what I liked about that though, honestly?
What?
Is the fact that it's neighborhood guys. Yeah, they had Scar and Spencer, but I get that. But
yeah,
they had neighborhood guys on that team. They all hang out. They're going to block parties. That's what major softball, in my opinion, misses nowadays. When I first started playing major softball, we all hung out with the guys we played with. Okay? We went to the bars. We hung out at the fields. I don't see that very much anymore on some of the major teams that play the game today. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, I know we go to the bar, some of us, but, it's not – I'm talking full team, full players. Like, it was way different 10 years ago. And I understand there's a lot more things to do nowadays. We've talked about that a lot on the show, but that's what I think Southside softball is a little different. And I'm sure the North Side, those guys up north do the same thing, right? We just don't hear about it. So,
yes, they do. I can speak to that. They do. On the North Side, it's kind of a tight-knit group as well, right? We hear a lot about the South Side stuff, and that's a very, very tight group of people that go out and hang out. They go to the same spots, eat at the same places together. On the North Side, it does happen as well. So then the next group I'm excited to hear from, because that's a North Side group of kids that just got into softball, a couple of years ago, and now are going to expand and play more ball, which is awesome. And this will be the perspective from Stretch and Jimmy that have been around major softball, have been around the game for a while, compared to this new group of people that this was their first tournament they've ever played in, some of these kids. Right. So to hear the perspective will be great.
Yes. And I think I'm excited about these guys that are coming on. I know them, but I don't know them, if you know what I'm saying. I knew Stretch and Jimmy Tops. I played with both of them, been a part of them. So there's a lot that I know about those two and how much they love softball and what the South Side looks like. But the perspective, I think, of who we have coming on next with the
Yep.
B Nationals and some of the things they did, I think is going to be cool. And it's also cool, I think, for the game of softball to see some of the younger teams coming in.
Yep.
You know, maybe not the major level yet, but maybe these guys will be at the major level in 5 years. And, you know, shout out to Francisco. Honestly, shout out to Francisco for this, because when I started, there was no B Nationals, right?
Yeah.
Francisco started this. This was his idea. He ran with it. And I give big time props to him for doing that, because he truly wants the game to get better. You see it. He runs tournaments. He does things. You know, yes, he's a part of the SSA, but he is truly doing things out of his own will to make the game better. B Nationals is one of them. And it's a good way to have some format in the game. B to A, the major.
Yep.
I think it's a good format.
The levels, right? You can grow and become, you know, we talked about this a lot with those two guys, but like the major player stigma, right? I like to talk about who I play for. I'm very proud of that, because it means that I have progressed in the game, right? I know it's kind of lame to talk about that, right? And brag about it, but whatever. The next group of guys haven't had that yet, but they will. I'm going to introduce them really quick. We've got Owen Weber coming on, who is a co-MVP. And then we have Christian Leal, who put the team together and runs the team. And then Anthony Leal is his brother, who played shortstop and was another co-MVP. I'm very fortunate to play with these guys and be close with them as well in different parks that they know that we're a part of and we play all the time. So they love 16-inch softball. And this is a very unique breed, because not a lot of kids have the commitment to the game, you know, like we see. So I'm going to bring those three dudes on, and we're going to have a little bit of a powwow, a party, and talk about B and talk about, you know, what goals are.
Who do you think they're most excited to see, me or you?
I see them a lot. So probably you.
Oh.
Probably you.
We're going to ask them.
Probably don't even know who you are.
Hey, that's a good thing.
Maybe. There's Owen. Christian, back up a little bit. Thank you. And there's
Oh,
Anthony.
look at these boys.
Anthony, you look great.
Always.
Oh, they all got SSA hats on, Jim. What do you think about that?
Yeah, look at that. The SSA B National. Did Francisco hand that to you?
Christian handed me mine. Francisco didn't do it.
No.
I was forced to.
You were forced to. Okay. Makes sense. So, guys, we always have guest MVPs, teams on the show, as you guys are well aware. We appreciate you guys coming on. We appreciate congratulations on winning B Nationals. I know you guys, like Johnny said, are just starting out in the game. So why don't we go around the horn, tell everyone who you are, start in the top right corner. I believe
What
Owen.
are you doing?
Dude, my phone keeps falling. I don't know. I don't
Fucking hold it up.
Yeah, there we go.
So, Owen, start with you. Owen, tell us about who you are, how you got started in softball.
Yeah, so I'm only 21. I'm still I got one more year left of college. I'm at Ole Miss, which is pretty fucking cool. It's a good time.
Yeah.
But I was 6 months old at my first game. My dad played. He used to play out in Mount Prospect with the Lounge. Was run by Jeff Dillman. So I've known Dillman and Nakanishi and Mike Hickey and them guys forever.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of different too, like Donnie, where I grew up around it, and like I play 6 nights a week. That's all I do. So I love to play, and you know, sometimes playing two nights a week, and just got into it being around my dad and being at the park.
Yeah.
So and I know that your girlfriend is a big time Team Jagoff fan, right?
Big time Team Jagoff fan.
So shout out to her for sure.
Anthony, go next.
All right, I'm Anthony Leal. I started playing at Indian Road on the northwest side in high school, and I played with the same guys, you know, for years. And then now a lot of those guys played on the B National team. So me and my brother Christian, we kind of joined teams, and that's how we made this team. So pretty much just park leagues, and yeah, that was our first tournament that we took seriously. And yeah.
Well, fun fact, Jimmy, these guys played in Dana Strong last year and got the shit beat out of them, unfortunately. But it made them hungry to play more tournament ball, right?
Oh, sure.
Are you guys playing Dana Strong this year?
No, we're playing first and following.
No, they don't want to get beat up again. Christian,
I got you.
go ahead and give your intro.
actually started playing softball in 5th grade. Anthony did too. I don't know if you forgot about that, but you play 16-inch at Chicago Public Schools.
Oh, yeah.
So we started playing at Oriole Park. Couple guys on the team that I played with, Stan and Gino. Actually, I played with them since 5th grade. Then we started playing in Park Ridge and in Des Plaines, and now we play in Park Ridge still and Olympia, and that's kind of where we, was like, let's get these teams from Olympia. All me and Anthony are on the same team. His friends are on another team called the Gators. Owen's on a team called the Garden Gnomes. We were like, let's just put a team together and go, win something. And, that's what we did.
You did.
You look like there's like gods shining down on you.
Just the
Is
glare.
it because you won the B Nationals, or is it because you're happy to see Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie?
A little bit of both.
That is crazy.
That's
Hey,
the
guys-
glare from Gio's stream when he was facing the sun.
That's great.
Christian, figure it out.
Dude,
Okay.
hold on. Give me a second.
Figure it out. You're embarrassing me.
Yeah,
He
I
did
know.
text me today and told me that he's not playing in Dana Strong this year, Donnie. I'm kind of upset by that, but that's okay.
So explain why, right? It's on the same day as another tournament this year, Jim?
Yeah, it's the same day as first responders.
Jimmy, you're
Yeah,
good
so
at that.
first responders moved their tournament to the same day as
Oh,
mine. Yeah, so now we have 2 tournaments on the same day.
Cheaper
Which
entry
is
fee?
weird, which it's funny because yesterday I had the Chicago PD, the Chicago Fire, both, they're going to play a game by me in the tournament. So they're going to play a co-ed game, a men's game, and a women's game. So they're having 6 teams show up, and it's going to be the firemen versus the cops, which wasn't really planned before, but now it is. They're going to play on the turf field by me. So the guy Gino from the Wentworth area reached out to me, and they wanted to join up. So I'm like, yeah, sure.
Cool, because the fire department is right there, right? It's right by the fields.
That is correct. Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
We're getting some pushback. Are you hearing that, Donnie?
Probably Christian.
Christian?
It's not me.
Or that SSA hat. Owen, we have a comment from the crowd. People want to know your thoughts on Lane Kiffin.
I don't got time for him to be in my head.
Yeah, yeah.
He knows where he's coming. September 19th. It's been on the calendar for 8 months now. Got to come back to Oxford and get golf balls and mustard bottles, and he might get shot. Those Hicks are crazy enough to fucking shoot him.
You ain't lying.
They're gonna have to
Hell
tell him
yeah.
to wear a bulletproof vest.
So
Let's,
it totally is Christian's phone, Donnie, because I
Yeah.
mute him and you don't hear it.
We knew that.
All
Whatever. So we're
Go ahead,
talking
Donnie,
about
your first question.
what's next for this Got You group, right? You guys get a free bid to A Nationals, which is great in my opinion because it allows you to play ball at a different level, right? To compete against different guys. Will you guys be taking them up on that?
Yeah.
So go with
Christian
Anthony
answer.
first.
Anthony,
All right.
go ahead.
Eddie?
Yeah,
Christian.
we're gonna be going over there to Carroll Stream. A little bit of a ride, but we'll make it just to see. We had that one tournament, and I don't think it was by luck or anything like that. But we'll see what we can do against some better talent.
Wow. Okay, dog. Good for you. That was nice. Some shit talk. Hold on. We have to unmute you, Christian. One moment.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Christian.
We're
Go
going
ahead,
to be
Christian.
losing a couple guys. Owen and Carlito are going back to school, so we're going to lose them. They're 2 key pieces in our team that won. But we're going to be adding some guys. Me and Anthony are going to grab some, 3 guys that we can bring on and have all weekend. But most of the core guys will still be there, which is great. I mean, we had.
Well, if you're playing SSA rules, you could add anything. Anybody can play on your roster. So Cousin Donnie and I, we can play too.
You think
Hell
we can
yeah.
add Tommy Corlett?
Everybody
Might as
else
well.
is.
Yeah.
Owen,
Yeah.
go ahead, bud.
Yeah, so I got to go back to school that Saturday. That tournament is. So one of my he's been good friends with my dad forever, but Mike Reese is going to go out there and pitch for him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
so he plays with me on Tuesday still. You know, he's still got that same cut ball he's had for 30 years.
Yeah.
He's still playing, so he's going to go out there and pitch for them that weekend, I think.
Very cool. And Mike he can still get it done at his age. There's no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy,
So
go ahead.
Donnie, all right, yeah. So my first question with you guys. So I'm gonna can you mute? I'm getting a lot of feedback on Christian's phone. So really quick, I want to ask you guys, when the way you look at the state of softball today, and because you guys are just getting into it, what excites you the most about softball? Because you guys probably don't know much about the major game, and if you do, great. But take that out of that. What excites you the most right now about, like, what's giving you the drive to play 16-inch, I guess is my question. Oh, and I'll start with you, and then we'll go around the horn.
Good question.
Well, I mean, I just started playing, so, like, the most I can play, and, I have nothing to, hold me back right now. Like, I can play every day if I want to, and I do.
Right.
But I think just being able to play with a group of neighborhood guys like this and starting at the bottom like we just did this past weekend and trying to work our way up. Yep. I feel like a lot of kids that are talented, they get picked up by major teams when they're younger. And instead of doing that, like, I want, like, me and Carlito and Randy Russ Jr., like, we're all 21 years old. We still have one more year left of school, but after that, like, I want us three and, Anthony and Christian and, all the young guys to be able to, like, take the next step and keep building up towards the major level instead of just, splitting up and hopping on separate teams that are already there.
Right. And it's, because obviously at one point in my life, I was in your shoes, right? 21, was on a major team, playing with buddies. It's really hard because I had probably 6 or 7 of my buddies on a team. It's really hard to keep that group together because as you start playing better competition, certain guys on your team, unfortunately, can't cut it, right? So my piece of advice to you, and it's different now than what it was when I started, stay together. Don't let major teams pick your best players up. Stay together. Look at the 30-38s. Okay?
Yeah.
Perfect example. Right?
Ironic, huh?
And I'm just saying, like, look at them. They've been doing better. They're getting better. They're at the major level now. But Julian Russell was a big piece of that. He could have played on any major team 4 or 5 years ago, even today. But he stood with his buddies. I give him a lot of credit for that. So that's my biggest piece of advice because if I look back 20 years ago, I wish we would have had – we stayed together for 5 or 6, 7 years, and then we all left, and then the team folded. Guys in life, things change. People have kids. People move forward. People move out of town. One of our best players moved to Seattle. Like, it's tough to make up for those guys. And then you start bringing new people in, and then it's just not the same. So
right, that's what, like, the 38s is a perfect example, and like another one would be like the Whale guys. Like, they're all Indian Road, Northwest Side guys. They all hang out at the same bars. They're all scattered throughout the Indian Road League. Like, I know they didn't really play together like the 38s did, where they played the B, the A, and then they worked their way up. But they've picked up guys that are all, Northwest Side guys, and they hang out together all the time. And like that's what I want to do.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead, Anth. What do you got?
Say that question one more time.
So what drives you the most to play 16 in softball? Like, why are you getting involved in the game? Like, what is the most exciting thing about it right now? Because, you might not know much about major and some of the shit that we talk about on the show, but tell me about what drives you right now as a younger player starting out on a younger team. Give me something that what are you thinking?
Well, definitely just getting the guys all together. That's the biggest thing, and being able to see them like on some weekdays and, and now that we're getting into these tournaments, on the weekends, whether it be the 3-day, that was a 3-day tournament. These 1-day tournaments are cool too. I think they're better because it's hard to get the guys out, for 3 days. Mm-hmm. Especially when you go into like Melrose and Carroll Stream and stuff, but we're going to give it a go this year. I believe that's the best, is just hanging out with the buddies.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to make sure, Donnie, we hit that point. Did I pay you to say that on the show?
No.
No, I just want to make sure because
Well,
I know,
that was our-
the rumor around goes is that I pay people to say what you just said, and I just
Right.
want to let you people know that I didn't mention it, didn't talk to you, actually didn't even talk to you off camera, and you brought that up, and I like the fact that you brought that up because this is what we've been barking about as players of the game for the last handful of years. Because I saw it 5 years ago, and no one wanted to listen to me, and we're still 5 years later doing the same old shit.
Right.
And
with
now we're
people
down
that
to
just
maybe
played in their first tournament, by the way.
yeah,
'cause
7
we had
teams.
a different lineup almost every day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's unmute Christian. Let's
Got
bring
him.
him back on so that way we can hear him. All right.
Can you guys
Christian,
hear
go
me?
ahead, buddy. You're
Yes.
Can you
good.
guys hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
I would say definitely going to piggyback right off Anthony, getting the boys together. We had guys playing in, like, never took softball seriously, just playing on the weekdays, some of them. And like, let's get in and let's see how we can do. And they were telling us they had one of the best weekends of their life just hanging out with the boys. We probably deleted, over 180 bush lights. We just were at the park all day, and then we took all of our winnings and went to Jets on Sunday. And we had a blast. So I think just really getting out there with the fellas and really just being one unit is what I'm really looking forward to. And just seeing when we take that next step to A, how big of a difference it is than when we were playing in that B tournament.
No, great point. Donnie, go ahead, Don.
All right, I've got a question for each of you individually. Okay. Christian, I'll start with you. Why did you tell me that you wished the tournament would have ended on Saturday night?
Oh, so I told Donnie I would have played till midnight on Saturday to not have to play in 90-degree weather. Sunday morning, sit for 3 hours. Half of our guys were like, we were an hour behind on the tournament. Half of the guys were like, it's going to be too late to go after. We got to go let out our dogs. We got to go see girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, everyone showed up to the bar except for 2 guys. But still, if we would have ended on Saturday night, we would have probably drank until 6 the next morning and had a blast, and then could have recovered all day Sunday when everyone's worrying about
There you
work.
go. Christian wants tournaments to end on Saturday so he doesn't have to call off work on Monday when he wins.
Yeah, 0-2.
So Christian, let me ask you a question. So Francisco tried the Saturday, unfortunately got screwed a couple years ago with weather.
Yeah.
Ended
rain,
at I
though.
think midnight. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't want to do that this year for some reason. Went back to the old format. Now I know the last couple of years I heard great feedback from that. So I'd have to ask Francisco on why he changed it. But I know that people are not happy about them bringing back 12 teams at the A and the B on Sunday. I want to ask you, because this is what they always tell me. How was the concession stands on Sunday? Was there 2 people at the stand?
Yeah, I think so. Harlow was there.
So do you think they would have made more money if everyone stuck around Saturday night, or bringing back 12 teams on Sunday at 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning? I mean, how much money can they make? By the time they open, I mean, there's down to 8 teams. So
Six teams, Jimmy.
Huh?
Only 6 went back on Sunday.
No, they had 12, I thought, no?
I'm pretty sure it was 6. There was 2 losers bracket games at 10 o'clock.
Oh, for B?
Yeah.
Well, A they had 12. It was
12,
8 and
12.
4.
Yeah.
And then your guys, I thought, was the same, very similar. It was only 6.
6.
Oh, it's even worse. Like,
Right.
why would you? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't know. My thing is they could find other elements to get those games in. Even if you have to start on Wednesday, I wouldn't care to start on Wednesday. Then on Saturday.
Well, we ended Friday night at we were the last game, and we ended at 9:30, and we were like, "Oh, there's another game after this." Me and Owen were like, "There's another game after this," and there wasn't anything after us.
Saturday too. We were supposed to start. So we were supposed to start our game Saturday at 7:15. We didn't end up starting until like 8 o'clock, and we were done at 9:15. But there was no other game after us. So instead of playing another losers bracket game on Saturday night, you could have came back with only 4 teams on Sunday, and had both
Even worse.
fields going, it would have been over in 3 hours. Instead, we were there till 5 o'clock.
Well, yeah, I don't understand why they do that. I just don't get it. It makes no sense to me. They end things early, and then they bring teams. I don't get it, and you can't tell me it's because of concessions. You just can't. You can't
They sell
tell me.
Italian ice. They sell Italian ice without fucking spoons, Jimmy.
That's
You're licking it like a dog.
yeah, that's
I thought-
not.
I thought you were eating ketchup out of the cup.
Exactly.
You got any videos of that, Owen?
No, thank God.
Okay, fair enough.
Donnie, I don't understand it. I don't know. That's something that when
Licking it like a dog.
Donnie, maybe I'll throw it in the SSA chat that we have, the text message that no one ever responds to me. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll throw it in there, and we'll see if we'll get a response.
Yeah,
You know,
I hear you.
because who the fuck is Jim Moretti and who the fuck is Donnie Rollins, right? So at least, Donnie, we can see and ask them like men, as we always do.
I hear you.
So,
I hear you.
but go ahead, Donnie.
Anthony, we'll talk. Your question is next, and I want to talk. There's a third Leal brother that not many people talk about, and I want to first of all know why nobody talks about my man Marty, and how influential was Marty for Gatya at B Nationals.
Oh, he was definitely there in the dugout. You knew that. He was cheering us on the whole time, and I'll say the only reason that we didn't want to put him on the roster and everything is because I think he wants to do it the same way we're doing it. You know, I think he's got some guys that he wants to put together, and they want to do it themselves. They don't want to, go on our back. You know,
I am very happy you answered that question that way, because I was going to say, Jimmy, there's another brother that wants to also start at the bottom in the B National with his own group of guys and play B National, because he saw his two brothers play and be a part of it and win. And he's like, I want to be a part of this too. Let me get my own team. Right. So that's great for the growth of the game, in my opinion. Right. Someone's like, damn, this is really fun. This is cool. My brothers had a great time. I want to do the same thing. So I think that's what's missing, right? People sometimes just want to jump on a team that's established because they don't have to do the work to grow with that team. And, sometimes that happens. So it's great, right? It's great to see that stuff. So the great answer, Anthony. I'm happy. What time do you have to wake up tomorrow for work, Anthony?
4 a.m.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you for being
Donnie,
a part of the
let's
show.
keep him here another hour. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're good.
My last individual question is for Owen. Owen loves 16-inch softball, okay? A lot. But there is one thing that Owen loves more than 16-inch softball.
Jesus Christ.
R. Kelly.
Oh,
Guy.
Why? Why?
He just asked for his release from President Trump.
I know. I hope he gets it. Jimmy, he could have a concert tomorrow. I would sell my parents' house and go front row, no matter what the cost was.
Yeah.
Why do you love R. Kelly so much?
I just love his music. I don't love the person.
Yeah.
Bad dude.
He can love his music. You just don't love it. You don't like the person.
Yeah, right. I put that in our Terry Moran group chat, and Adam Vogeltons shows up to the park on Saturday, and he's like, you know what? You were right. He was like, R. Kelly's got some fucking jams.
Bangers.
And I was like, I told you, dude.
Bangers.
Yeah.
You
They're all
love R.
making-
Kelly. Is it true that you wrote a paper about R. Kelly in college?
That is true.
I think Donnie. We lost him for a minute. There he is.
That is
So-
true. And I got an A on it.
That's so fun.
So I have two questions.
Oh, we lost.
Backyard
Jeez.
baseball.
All right. My first question.
You're back. You're good.
All right, good. I don't know why it keeps going in and out. My internet must be bad today. Tell me something that was awesome about the tournament this weekend, though, like as a whole. What did you guys, because it's one of your first tournaments, what did they do really well this weekend? Like, what did Francisco do that was awesome, in your opinion?
who's starting?
No matter.
Christian,
Go right ahead. Let me unmute you.
one moment.
Go ahead.
Some good things that they did with the tournament wasn't as bad as I thought I was going to be running time. Francisco did a good job of letting us bat before each game so we could get loose, which apparently, from what I was told at the tournament, that didn't happen in the past. It was kind of like one right after another, which was good for us because we won on Sunday. We beat the Sanchos, and then the Sanchos had to go play the Reapers, and we had to wait like an hour and a half or 2 hours. So we got up and we were able to bat on the other field. So that was great. And then I'll just say, like, the umps were fantastic all weekend, except for the night we played the Oboes. I don't know who that ump is, but his strike zone on Owen was fucking ridiculous.
Robbie
besides
Gazzano?
that guy,
No. It was
He's the guy who goes like this when there's a ball.
yeah, he scratches his neck.
It was Brad. Brad.
Oh yeah, Brad. Oh, he does do
yeah.
this a lot. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, but besides that, the umps were great, and
Brad's
the poor guy
tough.
got hit. The poor ump got hit in the nuts in our championship game.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Boone caught one.
He was really milking that though.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Go ahead, Owen. What was that one thing you thought went very well this weekend?
I thought it all went good. I like Christian. I like that he let us hit before every game. I mean, Saturday was running like really behind. Like I think maybe for like the losers bracket games, maybe don't let him hit and get him going, or go to a 1-on-1 count for the losers bracket. If you don't like it, sorry, you shouldn't have lost.
Right.
I mean, I don't mind a 1-on-1 count personally.
Yeah. No, that's great.
So,
great comment.
I think that that could be something that could be different, but I thought it was all pretty good. And the only thing that I would have preferred is not taking off work Monday and finishing Saturday night.
Very cool. Anthony?
Yeah, the hitting before is good, obviously. I didn't know that wasn't there before. The teams were all like really respectable guys. Everybody, even on coming on and off the field, we shook hands and I feel like everybody was having a good time. The fields were good. I mean, they were hard, but like we're not used to always having like the best conditions, and
Right.
They did a pretty good job with the fields, it seemed like, and so that made it a lot easier on us knowing that we're getting the right hops and stuff with the ball, and because we don't always get that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's kind of funny, Donnie, when you think about it, right? How spoiled we are playing on the fields we play on all the time. From some of the people that don't play at the major level or some of the major tournaments. So that's a good point, Anthony. You don't really ever think about that until I go and play at Kennedy Park, and I'm like, man, like it's just different, or the park leagues or whatever. It's just different, And Kennedy Park does a pretty good job with their fields, but it's just, it is different. So that's a good point. I don't really ever think about that. So I have one last question. You guys know the question that I ask every guest, every person that comes on. And I'm really excited to ask tonight because you guys are a new vision of the game. You guys haven't probably played a major, you haven't seen a major national, haven't been at I don't know if you've even attended a Forest Park. If not, get out there and watch. But I'm going to start with you, Owen, and we'll work our way around the horn again. Something that you would bring to the game of softball that you think would make it better, since you guys have had now played a little bit now, right? What do you think would make it better and more kind of, I guess, just interesting for some of the people your age to play this game and grow it moving forward?
Well, mine kind of goes to something I would bring back that I think I've seen just being around the game for my whole life. Something that I would bring back that I've seen decline over the years. I would love to see more guys bring their kids to the park. I feel like when I was growing up, between my dad and all my cousins and the guys that my dad played with, that they always had their kids there. And now that we're all grown up, all those kids that were at the park hanging out, rolling around in the dirt, are now playing.
Yeah.
Whether it's on major teams or in the park leagues or anything like that. So I would love to see more guys bring their kids, because I think that's the reason I fell in love with it.
Right.
There was there was a point in my life where they switched my hockey practices from Friday to Thursday, and Thursday was softball night. And I told my parents I wanted to quit hockey because I was like, "What do you mean we're not going to softball tonight? I got to go to hockey practice. Like that's bullshit."
I love that.
No,
Like,
I
Jimmy,
mean that's
Jimmy.
that's a great answer.
Did you ever play in the Alderman O'Connor tournament at Mather?
I have, yes. Way back in the day.
They used to have a petting zoo. They used to have pony rides. They used to have face painting, balloon animals. Like there was kids all over that park that were watching the games and doing all the activities that they had set up for the kids. So I think if there was more stuff like that was geared for families, it would do a lot of good.
It's excellent.
No, it's excellent. That's a great point, man. I think that is something nowadays that for the people that do, and I do. I mean, I should bring my kids probably more during the week, but it's tough because a lot of our games are so late, and I have little ones, you know.
Right.
But I still do bring
how
the
much
kids.
how much fun did your son have riding around on that bike at Terry Moran last year? He was zipping around the park like crazy.
Oh yeah, he was all over the place. Yeah, he was. Yeah, no, he did. He had a blast, and I mean, and my kids were there, and they came this year to Terra Marana as well. So all they were there, and they were running out. They were playing wiffle ball and doing all the park stuff, 100%. And they didn't want to leave. They actually begged me to stay for the championship game. And my wife's like, "Really, we're staying?" I'm like, "The kids want to stay, so we're staying."
Yeah.
So, yeah. But that's a great point, Owen, and I think that's something that is kind of missed. It's a lot of the wives and some of the families, they don't come up like they used to when you were a kid. I truly see that. Like, I mean, look at you make a good point. Like Bobby's kids, Bobby Ross and Randy. I remember when Ryan and Will and those kids were little, like Ralphie's kids, even
Right.
Tyler's kids. Those kids were little. And now a majority of them are playing 16 in softball.
Yeah,
So,
like I play with Randy's boys.
Yeah.
Randy and Ricky they're playing now.
Yeah. What'd you say, Donnie?
Or getting drafted to the MLB.
Yeah.
Oh well, he got signed by the White Sox, right?
Pretty cool.
So congratulations to Luke on that. He got signed. That's awesome. But Anthony, go ahead, Anthony. Right over to you.
That's a great point that that Owen was talking about for sure. But what I would think is definitely just like those like the tournaments and stuff like you guys were talking about. The hardest thing about I feel like softball is getting all the guys out, and so either the time frames of the games or the 3-day tournaments and just make them like 1 day or 2 days. That would definitely help a lot, because I feel like that's probably a big reason why a lot of teams aren't showing up to some of these things, why a lot of guys can't get out because they can't commit. So for sure that, but I loved what Owen said too.
Yeah. I think tournaments shouldn't be any further or any longer than 2 days. I agree with you. It could be Friday, Saturday, and be done, right? The problem is like the teams that play on Friday have a little advantage over all the teams that play Saturday. But somehow, if you get every team to play Friday night and end it on Saturday, somehow, I think it'd be awesome. Even if you started it early in the week just to end it on Saturday, I think it'd be cool too.
Right.
You play 3-4 games a night on a Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, and on Friday you could play later, play till midnight. There's no reason. What are you doing anyways?
Right.
Most of the guys would hang out at the field and probably watch the games at midnight if there was tournaments out. Like I don't know. I'm just saying, but that's a great point. Very good point. So
that was the best part about being at the park on Saturday night. There was 300 guys there.
Yeah.
Even all the teams that got eliminated, even early in the morning, they were all hanging out. I mean,
guys were betting on our games against the Reapers.
Yeah. So you were saying that Saturday night had over 300 people at the park, you think?
I think so.
Wow.
Christian, what is this comment? Do you want to talk about this for a sec?
Who's that from? Does that say Stan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, first time watching the podcast, wants to talk shit. Okay. Never said that. So
Go on.
That's funny. Never said that. First of all, never said that. My big old first baseman.
Gino said Christian's the first person on Zoom whose fat head can't fit in the frame. Jimmy, fun fact.
Yeah.
Christian is a model for oversized sunglasses.
You're kidding me, right? Maybe that's why he's got the glare on the sunglasses.
No, that is
Detour
100%
sunglasses.
true.
Look them up.
Look 'em up.
We got our guy Mark Manizzi who plays with us at Indian Road. Christian, last question: Who drinks the best margarita in 16-inch softball?
You and Mark.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And your fiance Carlin.
What?
Thank you for bringing her up.
You mean to tell me Donnie's not drinking wine? The pansy that he is?
No, carbless and margaritas only.
Carbless and margarita.
So Christian, tell me your answer to the question.
Oh yeah.
Who cares? Show the sunglass picture. Nobody cares about your answer. We want to see you in the sunglasses, buddy.
I got two answers for this.
I'll find it.
So going back and everyone on the team went back and watched it, right? I think it's a cool thing that what Gio does. I also think that the live stream is killing the game because they could have been out there watching it instead of watching it at home on their couch. Also, I think like half the time I was watching it, he kept bringing up like past teams and like other stuff that wasn't pertaining to the B Nationals tournament. So like the streaming of the games, I think, would be something I would get rid of, because why would you go out to a field that's 100 degrees with, people you might not know where you can watch it at home?
So are you familiar with 12-inch?
No.
All right. So there's this guy, Trey, he actually sits from his home, and somehow he gets into a camera that he taps into a camera for USA softball, and he literally has a talk show why the game is going on. He doesn't announce it, but he gets like 700-800 people watching it.
Yep.
Wow.
It is.
That's cool.
It is so cool, and I think I want to start that. I got to mute him. I want to start that, Donnie, next year if we could figure out a way to get people to live stream. Remember how we had it on the fence for our tournament?
Yeah,
that's all we got to do, and we could tap into here, and you and I could talk while we're watching the game. I don't know. I just think it's a different element. I think it's cool. I think more players in today will actually like that because, hey, you guys want to hop on the stream with us while the game's going on, right? We talk about it. So, they don't have sound on the game. It's just straight. You're watching it and that's it. Like you're not announcing every play, big time moment in the game. You can talk about what they're doing. I don't know. I just think he does a really good job with it. And I know it takes a lot of time. I get all that, but that's how, if we could tap into even some league play games, Donnie, next year on a Wednesday or Thursday, I think it'd be pretty cool to do. We got to figure out the format, how we're going to do it, but we have, the phones, we have certain things. So, but
I like that. I think something like DW does too with the condensed games.
Yeah, that's great.
Like I find myself watching those. I'm not sitting through an hour-long game. I'm skipping through it anyway.
Right.
An hour.
So
the Resmondo just played the Smoky Mountains, and dude, those games ended like 85-75.
Yeah. But what I'm saying,
16-inch though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, Owen, like Donnie and I can have our show while we're watching the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's even better.
I think it'd be cool as shit. Like we could talk. We're talking. We bring guests on. We're talking, and we're watching the game. It's almost like what Peyton Manning does with Eli on Monday Night Football, right? To me, I think it's a cool element to what we can do, and if we can get teams to put a thing up on the fence, and I can give, you know what I mean? Like it's going to take some work, but it's doable. It's definitely doable. There's no doubt it's doable. Even for you guys, like the B teams, like A teams, major teams, whatever. Hey, you want us to be? We're going to run your podcast. We're going to do a live game. Donnie and I are, we're not playing. We're sitting in our couch at home, whatever, and we're having our show while we're watching your game. I just think it'd be
Right.
cool. It's a different element, and it's something that Donnie and I are going to talk about and want to do, hopefully very soon. But Kristen, go ahead, Kristen. What's your second thing? What was your second thing?
My second thing was just, the way that the tournaments kind of run and how they're like staggered. Like it doesn't, to me, we were talking about this. How does it make sense that when the A tournament national, no glove?
What was
Go
that?
ahead, I'm listening. Richie
The A tournament,
Battistoni
no-
wanted to say hello, guys.
Hello, Richard.
The A tournament, no glove was before the B nationals.
Playback. Yeah.
Like we got asked to play in that. We were going to play in that, but then we didn't know if we could play in B nationals, and everyone ended up not making it. So now, like, why does it go that way? Like, is that always been that way? Is there like a sequence, or like how does that go? I don't know if you can answer that kind of thing, because it doesn't make sense that there's an A, B, A.
So the B no glove nationals should be before the. I understand what you're saying. I understand the question. Let's mute him really quick because there's a ton of kickback on his mic. But to his point, Donnie, I think he's got something here. The B nationals should be played before the A. The A should be played before the major. Correct.
100%.
So, the major for us at no glove is Forest Park, which the A does play. So somehow they have to flip the A and the B, where the B is played before the A, so that way they can go play the A. Now that makes total sense. Now they get a bid into A glove, right?
Correct.
Which technically is not A no glove.
Correct.
Right, because if they would have played A no glove and did well, you guys wouldn't have been able to play B no glove. Correct, is what you're saying?
So really, we had a comment really quick, Jim. It says,
Yep.
Roberto says any team can play in the A tourney. That is true, right? For these guys, they can play, and they didn't know how they were going to compete at all as a team. So for
Right.
them to be able to play B nationals first and say, damn, we did really well here. 100%, Christian, I agree with you. B nationals should be first, then A, then major. Because in an insane world, someone can win B, A, and major in the same year. If there's a B team that's brand new, that's never played a tournament before, that comes out and balls out, right? It would be amazing. Yeah. But here's another comment. Anthony has the mustache of someone that can't be within 200 feet of a middle school.
That's
pretty
something
good.
that Anthony has in common with R. Kelly too, but R. Kelly doesn't have a mustache.
That's true.
That's true. But that's a great point that Christian makes about the levels kind of going
Yes.
with the tournament schedule.
Yes, because they don't have a B glove because everyone just plays A glove.
Right.
But the A glove is now before the major. That was the whole point of them pushing it back, because before any of you guys even were in diapers, the A and major was on the same weekend. Okay, they used to play the A national and the major national on the same weekend every single year, Labor Day weekend, up until the SSA started. Then the SSA pushed the A national back 2 weeks, which is probably the best thing the SSA ever did. Okay, because
I would rather get a bid in an A no glove. Yeah, this is a great comment. This is someone who was a part of their team, Jimmy. I would
Right.
rather get a bid into A no glove instead of a bid to A glove nationals. I
Right.
agree 100%.
right, because they're playing without a glove. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
why would you try to qualify for a totally different format style of tournament?
Well, correct. And not only that, but what they're trying to do with the A glove, they try to get as many teams as possible, right, to play that. And now they're forcing you guys to play in order to get the money, correct? It's something like that. That's how they do it. They hold money back from you guys in order to play. Is that true?
No, they just gave us a like the bid in. I don't think anything like that though.
Okay, because I think
we get to play for free.
Yeah,
Okay.
the prize was supposed to be $975. We got $600 cash, and then the $375 went to.
So they
the
do
bid.
hold back from you.
But
Say,
what I'm
hope
saying-
Christian got that money.
They paid the bid. So
right. They pay the
Yeah.
bid, but I thought, and I could be wrong, but I think if you finish in the top 6 of A major national or A nationals, I think they hold prize money back, so make sure you play in the major event.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that Francisco doesn't do it that way with the B, he does it differently. He just takes your bid out, which is fine because you basically, well, no, they're paying your bid, but they're taking your money.
Right.
So you guys are paying for it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Okay. Now it's not a free bid. You're actually paying $375
with no choice.
With no choice.
No choice.
Seriously.
Right.
They're like, all right, you're in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, those are great points, guys. Thank you for bringing them up. And Jimmy, I think that's all we've got. I know Anthony's got to get to bed. It's way past his bedtime.
Really quick, we got to ask him, is there any questions for us since you guys are new to the show, new people? So go right ahead with your questions.
Oh, first.
It's kind of a would you rather for both of you, but would you rather have a team like us split up and go play majors, on teams that are already established, or keep working your way up the ranks to try and, get the team that we currently have back into, or up into major ball?
I guess I'll go first because Donnie don't want to answer that. I would say I would 100% say I would have you guys stay together because of the fact that if we keep breaking up younger teams, there's never going to be major teams in 5 to 10 years.
Right.
And that's my opinion on the way the game is today. Stay together. Don't let 45 signature flash. A lot of these big kids steal your best players. Make sure you guys stay together. And in 5 years, you guys will be major. It might take a while. Some of your better players are going to want to jump and play early. But if they're truthful and they're honest to you guys, in today's world, I would say stay together. 20 years ago, maybe a little different. Today, 100% stay together because you guys are going to have a lot better time together.
All right, so secondary question. How do you like playing with my guy Carlito?
He was fine. I mean, he had fun. He doesn't say too much. That's number one. He doesn't really say much at all. But I hadn't seen him now in a week, so I don't know.
Playing B National, so that's why you didn't see him.
Yeah, probably, right? Well, he only played with us in our tournament, and then he played with us in a couple league games, I believe, in Forest Park, which is all open rosters. So I haven't really seen him much. But, he was fine. He swings hard. He gets to a lot of balls. Let's just say that. And he does pretty good. So for being so young, I think he's got a lot of potential, no doubt.
Yep. Someone in the comments wanted me to show you this picture. Jimmy, I mentioned that Christian was a model for oversized sunglasses.
All right.
XL frame for XL heads.
Attaboy. Dude, you kind of look like Luke Holmes.
I don't. Someone just told me that in Michigan on 4th of July weekend.
Really?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Can you sing?
No, not for sure.
I was going to say you'd be able to get some ass if you could sing.
I think
Christian,
my
sing
wife
us a
would
song.
like that.
Hey, maybe
So,
there's
all
a new sponsor opportunity. The Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie show presented by XL Frames.
There you go.
There you go.
I like, you know what? I like this guy, Owen. You're right.
This guy's he's a trip.
So,
He's a
Anthony,
trip.
go ahead, buddy. Any questions?
No, I think we covered everything.
Owen, did you have another question? Or are you good?
No, I'm good.
Before we
Thank you guys for having us.
Donnie, unmute him. Donnie, I know he's got a question.
No, he muted himself.
I muted myself. Donnie, question for you, because I don't know if Eddie knows all of them. What did you think of our coaching staff? We had Eddie Barzowski, Tommy Corlett, and Pat Clark.
Wow. How could you have won without them?
Pat Clark saved me in the Reapers game. He came out for
I think Pat Clark is a perfect mentor for you guys, for your group, because he is unapologetically Pat Clark all the time, and that's exactly what you guys need. He'll fire you guys up.
Yeah.
So Eddie and Tommy Corlett, major player Tommy Corlett, just causing chaos. around the parks right now.
Shout out to Mr. Barzowski on
Oh
Friday.
yeah, Mr.
Hell
Barzowski
yeah.
got us fired up on Friday night.
Did he have a
I'll
shirt
tell
on?
you,
No.
Yeah, his shirt was weird. Yeah, his shirt
Cut
was.
off, I
Oh wait.
think.
Oh wait.
They're
It was
talking about
on.
Pat. They're talking about
Oh.
yeah. JP was more excited you guys won, man. He texted me right after the fact Sunday night, and he's like, "You got to get Owen on the show."
He wants
And I'm
Owen
like-
for Flash, probably.
I'm like, "All
Yeah,
right."
yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah. So it's just
All right, gentlemen.
he instantly had you on the show. Krista, go ahead. What was your next question?
No, that was it. I just wanted to ask that.
That's
All
great.
right, perfect. Well, guys, we
Fellas?
appreciate you coming on. Hopefully, we'll see you again very soon. If you guys have any ideas, any questions, any issues, anything, please shoot us a call, text, whatever. We'll definitely bring it up on the show. So thank you guys so much. Okay.
All
See you
right,
Thanks for
tomorrow.
having us.
Thank you. Donnie,
The boys.
before we end it, I just
The
want to
boys.
say thank you to our sponsors, Signature Transportation Group, Cut Shot, okay? Our obviously Beacon Tap, our boy Tommy Reamer, and Surfside. Thank you for all of them, okay? They've done a great job, and I'm going to be buying Donnie some things because we have some money in the bank. We're going to be buying some things for the show. Remember I told you about the mics and certain things? We're going to go a little bit more professional style rather than
Okay.
just using the computers. That is coming. And then also, I want to talk to you off camera about the games, like I just mentioned. Okay.
Cool.
So everyone else, we appreciate you guys watching the Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie show. Thank you for staying with us for the full 2 hours. But Donnie, it was a fun 2 hours of new people.
Great. Yeah.
Park softball, Kennedy Park. I mean, it was awesome, right? So B teams, awesome time, great show. So I definitely appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I appreciate you as well, man. It was fun. And we look forward to next week when we have another show lined up for you guys here. So stay tuned and we'll see you guys very soon.
Yep. Thank you.